Up next, we've got graph data on line points. Oh man, graphing in 4th grade. Of course, I think we're not talking about like full-on XY graphs. I think we're just graphing on a single number line. So I think we're going to manage this. Oh, and as always, I got to make sure I shout these out at least once per stream. Please remember that when you are on Khan Academy and you're looking through these lessons, you've got these wonderful videos here that are really, really well done and will absolutely help you understand these concepts. They are very, very well explained and very strong recommend. In addition to my videos, between Khan Academy videos and my videos, you should be able to get a pretty decent understanding, or at least enough to where you can ask questions of your teacher or ask questions of your fellow teachers, for those of you who are learning this for the benefit of a younger student, to be able to figure out where your weaknesses are. Okay. Boom. Graph data on line points. The amount of rain that fell in Tokyo, Japan for 3 consecutive days is shown below. The measurements are provided to the nearest 1/8 of an inch. So it looks like each of these tick marks is 1/8 of an inch, which makes sense because then 2 of them would make 1/4, right? To go from, I'm gonna belabor this point for a moment. To go from 1 to 1 1/4, that is adding 1/4, yeah? Which means that each of these is half of 1/4. So each of these little ones is plus 1/8. Yeah, half of 1/4 is 1/8. Okay. And I think that what the problem says, when it says, even though you can't see it right now, when it actually says through 1/8 of a unit, I think that's what it means. Okay, create a line plot that shows all of the measurements on the number below. So 1 1/8 would be right here. 1 3/8, well, here's 1/8, 2/8, it's the same as 1/4, right? 2/8, 1/4, same thing. There's 3/8, so we can put a dot there. And there's a second one at 1 3/8, so now we've got our little bitty line graph. Next question. The table below shows the volumes of baking soda from several trials of a science experiment. The measurements are rounded to the nearest 1/8 of a teaspoon. So there were 3 trials at 2 1/2. So 1, 2, 3 trials at 2 1/2. There were 4 trials at 3 1/2, which is right there. 3 1/8. Now that would be between 3 and 3 1/4, right? 1/8, 3 2/8. And there were 2 of those. 1, 2. 2 5/8. Well, let's see. 2 1/2 is the same thing as 2 4/8. So 2 5/8 would be right here. That's 2. 3 1/4 is marked. There should be 4 there. 3 3/4 is also marked. There should be 1 there. I think we've got our graph. Nice. The lengths of 5 adult killer whales are shown in the table below. The lengths are rounded to the nearest 1/8 of a yard. By the way, not a big fan of the term killer whales. All whales kill something, right? Even the biggest, most peaceful blue whales kill millions and millions of krill. Dolphins, other dolphins, orcas are a type of dolphin, other dolphins kill just tons of fish. Why make the orca specifically the killer whale? I don't know. Seems like bad PR to me. But anyway, we're creating a line plot. We've got one that's 7 3/4, so that's that one right there. Yeah. We've got another one that is 8 7/8. Well, let's see. Here's 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8. So we'll put a dot there. Namu is 8 1/4. That is labeled, so we can just go ahead and put it on there. 7 5/8. Here is 7 1/2, which is 7 4/8. So 7 5/8 is right there. And then we have another 7 3/4. I think our graph is done. Next question. Amy ran many miles during September. She recorded how long it took her to run each mile, rounded to the nearest 1/4 of a minute. So again, with time, we usually use minutes and seconds rather than like 8 3/4 minutes. But this same technique that we're using here does get useful when we start talking about minutes and seconds, because what is a second if not 1/60th of a minute? Like, the whole idea of seconds comes from fractions. So if you know how to do this, you will eventually figure out minutes and seconds as well. They're just a different kind of fraction. So 8 3/4 is in between 1/2 and 9. 9 1/4. So it seems like each of these tick marks is a fourth this time, not an eighth. So this is 8 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 9. 9 1/4 would be right here. 9 1/2 is here. 8 1/2 is here. And then 9. I think that's all of them. Oh, but we've got a frequency here. Okay, so 8 3/4 is actually 3 times, right? Because it tells us how many. 9 1/4 is actually twice. 9 1/2 is actually 4 times. 8 1/2 is fine. And 9 solid is 5 times. So now I think we've got our graph done. And that's graphing data on line plots. Again, mixing up all these ideas so that when you have to use these ideas together later on, you're already used to it. You're already used to taking graphs and fractions and mixing them together to see how they interact with each other. That way it'll make it a lot easier going forward when you have to deal with scaling of axes and crap like that. Up next,